Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nidus Anarchy series. I'm your host Adam, the CIO of Nidus, and today we're going to be talking about the Apple event, the release of the new iPhone. So, how excited am I that Apple is releasing the new iPhone, which is the iPhone 15? I could honestly give a shit. I think that's kind of the summary of everything that I saw about what was just kind of announced and released today. Nothing spectacular whatsoever. I did not watch it live because I kind of had a really good feeling what they were going to say already from the leaks and stuff. And the only thing important, honestly, was that they're moving to USB-C for the charger and no more Lightning. Which, honestly, thank God, right? I mean, I get it. They want their own proprietary shit, but that was annoying. That's been annoying forever. I mean, I have a ton of Lightning connectors, but I also have a ton of USB-C cables now too. So thankfully, they're finally moving to a standard, obviously because they were forced to because of Europe. Why is Europe determining how technology is being made? Wasn't that like our thing? Weren't we like the whole made in the USA and everything came out of, you know, Berkeley and Stanford and all the Silicon Valley stuff, and yet we are no longer innovating. And I feel like that is the real downfall of Apple literally since Jobs died. And I'm not going to rehash that because I'm sure everyone has been talking about that forever. But the gist of it is, since Jobs died, Apple has done nothing. They've come up with nothing innovative. They have not come up with anything really cool or even worthwhile, honestly. I think a lot of others are better. I personally use iPhone. I have Apple stuff everywhere. It's because I'm just tied into the ecosystem so much. I'm stuck. Every year I feel like I try another Android phone, whatever the newest, latest, and greatest one is. I buy it. I really want to like it, but it just doesn't make the benchmark for me, or it just doesn't integrate as well with my Mac stuff that I have that I'm so tied to. So it just never really happens. So therefore I have an iPad and all this other crap. So the iPhone 15, what's so special about it? Well, it's going to start at $1,000. It has USB-C. It's got a better camera. Has more megapixels and zooms and stuff, which, who cares? Because it ain't going to make that much of a difference. Your photos all suck anyway. We have, new nits, and the screen is better. There's nothing. There's not the iPhone 14, iPhone 15 is the same freaking phone. There's a couple different things in there that are better. Should you upgrade? Absolutely not. Am I going to upgrade? Yes. Why? Because I shattered my phone and I need a new phone. That's the only reason. I mean, honestly, I still think the last phone I had before that one was the iPhone 11. And I was perfectly fine with that phone for the longest time. It's just the battery just degraded so bad over the period of years. I've even replaced it. And it was a workhorse, but it needed to be replaced. So that's why I buy the 14 and for a tax write-off. But yeah, the 15, same thing. I don't see anything exciting about it whatsoever. Other stuff they announced, iCloud will offer 2 new plans, a 6 terabyte and a 12 terabyte version. Whoop-de-frickin-do. I guess if you are a diehard Apple enthusiast and you love the iCloud and for some weird ass reason, go for it. I mean, I like Dropbox better, and some people like Box or some of the other cloud terms, Google Drive and all these other ones. Even Google Drive, that's another thing, man. Google is such a powerhouse of great technology, engineers, developers, architects. I mean, they have like some seriously smart people over there. So how come all their apps are just so like, bleh, right? Like Google Drive, it's like, imagine if I said, hey, let's say Google Drive didn't exist. No, I'm going off on a serious tangent, but like, and you're on Dropbox and you know how this whole, cloud file sharing system works. You're like, hey, Google's going to come out with their version. You'd be like, whoa, this is going to be amazing. In fact, it's not. It's a pain in the ass. I never use it. I still use Dropbox. So iCloud ramping up with more storage space. I guess, cool, you can put all those dumb videos that you record in 4K on your new 15 Pro Max tablet that you're going to shove in your back pocket everywhere that you're never going to watch after you record this hour-long video of a concert and you're that irritating person just holding your phone up the whole concert because you can. No one's ever going to watch that video, and you just made everyone else's enjoyment behind you suck that much more. So, I don't know. Maybe the baby photos will be better. I'm not trying to be a downer. I just think that it's a complete bummer not even a bummer, because it was totally expected, right? A bummer would be when you expect something awesome and it comes out to suck. I knew it was going to suck, and it does suck. What else do they have? The Apple Watch Titanium Pro is being described as incredibly light and carbon neutral, and Jesus. Okay, the iWatch or whatever the hell, the Apple Watch, ugly as shit. It's thick, it's lame. I also think that thing is stupid. I think Samsung and some of those other guys, even the Google ones, way better on the wearables world. Apple is just falling way behind. They can't even catch up. And I'm an Apple fan, but man, these things are just stupid. You'll never see me with an Apple Watch. I think it's just a horrible device. If you like it, go for it. There's a good friend of mine. He's Apple everything. He's got the watch and the tablet, multiple size tablets, and the MacBook Pros and the MacBooks, and then the iPhones and everything. And when I'll do this just for fun. Whenever I'm at his place, I'll send him just a text message, and I'll see all his blow up, like 15 different devices and 15 different ringtones all going off at the same time. And I'm asking him, like, dude, you know why you're on like anxiety meds, dude? It's like you have all this just blowing up all around you all the time. Like, do you really need that? I don't think so. And the iWatch again, or Apple Watch, whatever the hell, it's the same garbage in my opinion. Carbon neutral product. Now this is a fun one that I'm going to stomp all over. Now the whole carbon neutrality thing, I think, is a total gimmick. And I know all the cause heads, if you don't know what cause heads are, watch PCU. It's a great film. Cause heads are out there just saying how everything needs to be carbon neutral. And okay, so let me break this down. So do I understand carbon footprints? Yes. We actually did a blockchain project for an exchange of carbon credits online where people could buy carbon credits in exchange for crypto to offset their carbon footprint for everything they're doing. So, hey, I'm taking a flight from New York to LA. I want to offset my carbon footprint. They could then buy these carbon credits online with Bitcoin or Ethereum. And from there, they're offsetting their carbon footprint of whatever it is they want to do. And these things, every time they're buying into these carbon credits, it actually goes to legit contracts that they've set up to, they're tied to actual legit carbon credits on the back end and all this stuff. So it's all legit in the carbon credit world. Now, I didn't know how any of this stuff worked until I actually started being involved in the projects. So let me tell you how this carbon credit stuff works, because I didn't know, right? So what they do is they say, hey, we're going to go to like some forest down in Brazil, and we're going to pay all these farmers to not cut their trees down. We're going to say, hey, look, we're going to give you $30 an acre to not cut these trees down for the next 10 years. And then they calculate how much carbon offset those trees produce, and over that period of time, then they say, okay, cool. Then they take those carbon credits that they have, and then they go to someone over here and says, oh, you want to fly from New York to LA? Well, that produces this much carbon. And for that footprint over there in Brazil where we saved the rainforest, it would have offset, 0.001% of it. And then they take that particular piece that you bought to that contract and kind of give it to you and say, hey, look, you've purchased those carbon credits, so you've helped save the rainforest for the next 5 years. 5 years, they're going to cut that shit down. Now, here's the thing. Where those carbon credits are going and how it's actually, affecting the world, it's very much smoke and mirrors, and a lot of it is completely bogus. So you really got to look into what's actually being done to save the planet type stuff, if that's what you're going for, because most of the stuff is complete BS. I mean, like, I know of a carbon company where they buy and sell carbon credits, and they have this huge plot of land, and it's Indian reserves, and it's out in somewhere in the U.S. where they have all this area that they've reserved, so therefore offsetting carbon. Well, the majority of the land is desert. There's nothing growing there except peyote. And they're actually just protecting the peyote for their rituals for the Native Americans over there. And one of them's like, that's cool, but how are you offsetting carbon? It's like, oh, well, we're not technically, because there's nothing there scrubbing carbon. There's no trees of any kind. But because they're saving some natural preserve, therefore the carbon is offset into carbon credits. So if you're happy that your watch, and you feel like, you can pat yourself on the back because you bought a watch that you have a carbon negative footprint or whatever the hell, go for it. But just remember, in the grand scheme of things, you're not doing shit. So if you think you are, do me a favor. Go over to Southeast Asia. Just take a trip. You'll have a time of your life. It's so much fun over there. Go visit like Vietnam or something like that. And while you're there, try to walk around the city in the middle of summer. Let's say August. Well, it's September now. But, even now, go over there now. And when you're there, walk around without a mask. And I'm not saying because you don't want to spread COVID. I'm saying because the pollution is so bad that your lungs are on fire and you can't breathe. So you're literally wearing a mask to filter out the pollution because it's so bad. So when you think that you're offsetting your carbon footprint and, all your other fancy cause head crap, you're not doing anything. You're helping a drop in the bucket way off in the world. They're completely destroying the planet by landslides. So if you actually want to help the planet, don't buy an Apple Watch. that was made in these places where they do not give a shit about regulations of pollutants are being put into the water and the air and the land, and actually buy something that was made from all sustainable resources from places where they actually have things like the EPA and regulations in place. But if you're just saying, hey, I've offset my carbon footprint, you want to pat yourself on the back, go for it. But I think you're lying to yourself. Other than that, I think the Apple event was great. Tim, he looked great on camera, and he said they're a very innovative company at the end of their talk. So other than basically lying the entire time, I think the Apple event was pretty much on par. So with that, let's leave you guys around. I'd love to hear what you guys thought. Let me know in the comments here. Did you see anything spectacular and so innovative and awesome that Apple announced today in their iOS event or their Apple event or whatever the hell this stupid thing is called? What do you think? Did you think it was so awesome? Are you so excited to buy the new iPhone and tell everyone how cool it is and how much the Android sucks and continue that whole war? Let's dive into it. So post your comments below. Let's jump into it and see what you guys think. I'll see you guys around. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, LinkedIn, all that stuff at Nydis, I-A-M, N-Y-E-D-I-S, I-A-M. And you can even email me, adam@nydis.com. But we all know we're all going to have fun yelling at each other in the comments. iPhone versus Android. Let's go. Later.